Imagine standing in front of a supermarket shelf, staring at colorful packages, fast foods, and snacks that promise convenience and flavor. They look harmless, maybe even irresistible. But what if every bite of these ultra-processed foods is quietly reshaping your body, your health, and even the length of your life? Today, we're going to dive into the science-backed truth about ultra-processed foods, why researchers warn that each portion may increase your risk of disease, accelerate aging, and shorten your lifespan. This isn't fear-mongering or speculation. It's based on studies conducted in the world's leading nutrition and epidemiology centers. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your daily choices matter more than ever and how you can protect your body from the hidden dangers lurking in convenience foods. Ultra-processed foods are not just pizza, candy, or soda. They include any products that have gone through multiple industrial processes, containing additives, preservatives, artificial colors, and flavors. Think packaged snacks, instant noodles, sugary cereals, frozen meals, energy bars, soft drinks, and even many types of bread. The hallmark of ultra-processed foods is that they are designed to be palatable, engineered to taste irresistible while bypassing the body's natural hunger cues. Nutrition scientists warn that these foods often have high amounts of sugar, unhealthy fats, and salt, but very little real nutrition. You're consuming calories that don't nourish, while your body is metabolically taxed by their additives and chemical compositions. Let's explore the research. One of the largest studies on ultra-processed foods was conducted in France, following over 100,000 participants for more than 7 years. The results were startling. For every 10% increase in the proportion of ultra-processed foods in the diet, the risk of overall mortality increased by 14%, and the risk of cardiovascular disease and cancer rose significantly. This means that even moderate consumption of these foods is not harmless. Another comprehensive study published in the British Medical Journal tracked over 20,000 adults and found that high ultra-processed food intake was associated with obesity, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome, highlighting how deeply these foods disrupt the body's systems. But how exactly do ultra-processed foods damage our health? There are multiple mechanisms. First, blood sugar spikes. Many ultra-processed foods contain refined carbohydrates and added sugars that flood the bloodstream, leading to insulin resistance over time. Insulin resistance is a precursor to diabetes, heart disease, and accelerated aging. Second, chronic inflammation. Additives, preservatives, and emulsifiers disrupt gut microbiota, the trillions of bacteria in our intestines that regulate immunity, digestion, and even mood. Studies show that consuming processed foods alters gut diversity, increasing inflammatory markers and contributing to chronic diseases. Third, hidden chemicals. Compounds like acrylamide advanced glycation end products, AGEs, and trans fats formed during industrial processing and cooking, promoting oxidative stress and cellular damage. Essentially, each bite is a silent contributor to disease progression. Emotional and behavioral factors make the problem even more challenging. Ultra-processed foods are addictive. Their engineered flavors trigger dopamine release in the brain, creating cravings similar to addictive substances. People often report difficulty stopping once they start eating, leading to overconsumption. Combine this with the convenience, culture-busy lifestyles, fast meals, and marketing targeting children, and it's no wonder that consumption has skyrocketed worldwide. In fact, in countries like the United States and the United Kingdom, ultra-processed foods make up more than 50% of daily caloric intake. This is a modern epidemic hidden in plain sight. The consequences are visible at the cellular level too. Researchers studying aging and longevity have found that diets high in ultra-processed foods accelerate cellular senescence, oxidative stress, and mitochondrial dysfunction. These are key drivers of aging, making the body more susceptible to degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, and cancer. In a sense, every portion you consume isn't just increasing short-term risks like weight gain and accelerating your biological clock. Imagine the cumulative effect over decades. A lifetime of processed foods can silently reduce both lifespan and health span, even if outwardly you appear healthy. So, what can be done? The solution may seem simple, but it requires awareness and planning. First, recognize ultra-processed foods. Read labels carefully. Watch for long ingredient lists and avoid products with unpronounceable additives. Second, prioritize real, whole foods, vegetables, fruits, nuts, legumes, lean proteins, and minimally processed grains provide nutrients your body actually needs. Third, plan meals ahead. Batch cooking, homemade snacks, and mindful eating reduce reliance on convenience foods. Finally, allow moderation. Occasional indulgence is not forbidden, but habitual intake should be minimized. Studies suggest that diets with over 70% real, unprocessed foods significantly reduce the risk of chronic disease and mortality, showing that your choices have direct, measurable consequences. A fascinating aspect of ultra-processed food research is how it intersects with psychology and environment. Studies reveal that exposure to marketing and the availability of processed foods in neighborhoods strongly influences consumption. Children are particularly vulnerable as their taste preferences are shaped early and eating habits track into adulthood. Researchers advocate for policy changes such as taxation, labeling, and public education campaigns to reduce consumption at a population level. However, individual action still matters most. By understanding the science and applying it to your daily habits, you are taking control of your longevity in ways that no marketing campaign can dictate. There's also growing evidence that even small changes can produce big results. One randomized trial replaced ultra-processed foods with minimally processed alternatives for just 2 weeks. Participants showed measurable improvements in blood pressure, insulin sensitivity, and metabolic health, all without changing calorie intake. This demonstrates that the harms of ultra-processed foods are reversible and that your body responds quickly when you shift toward real nutrition. The takeaway is empowering. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet at once. Each meal is an opportunity to reinforce health or compromise it. Beyond the body, ultra-processed foods also affect the mind. Research indicates links between processed food consumption and higher rates of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. The mechanisms are likely multifactorial. Inflammation, gut microbiota disruption, and blood sugar dysregulation all impact neurotransmitters and brain health. Conversely, diets rich in whole foods, antioxidants, and omega-3 fatty acids support cognitive resilience and emotional well-being. This reinforces the concept that ultra-processed foods are not just a matter of calories, they are a systemic threat to body and mind alike. Ultimately, this is not just a story about avoiding packaged snacks. It's a story about reclaiming control over your life and your health. Every choice matters, from breakfast cereal to dinner leftovers. The decision between an ultra-processed product and a whole food alternative has measurable consequences. The science is clear. Ultra-processed foods accelerate aging, increase disease risk, and shorten lifespan. But equally clear is the solution. Shift toward real, nutrient-dense foods, embrace mindful eating, and understand the mechanisms at play in your body. Knowledge, combined with consistent action, empowers you to reverse decades of dietary damage and build a foundation for longevity. If you want to live longer, think clearer, and enjoy decades of vitality, it's time to rethink your plate. This is not about deprivation, it's about choosing life, science, and resilience. Every portion counts, and each decision either strengthens your body or silently chips away at it. The era of ultra-processed convenience is over when we understand the stakes. It's time to act, to reclaim health, and to feed your body what it truly deserves. Real, nourishing foods that support longevity.